One in my hair.
Oh my God. You haven't got any more, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
You look like the bird lady.
I think they're going to, yeah, I think they're going to like, I think they'll nip you. What'd you say, how'd you get on? Look at all that. Oh dear.
Are you not kissing?
I like your little manoeuvre there. Hello.
Well, it's just a little bit of crisp that I had in the back of the car. I've got some carrot. Wait a minute, let me just get some carrot. There's going to nip in there. And I thought,
when we were at Point Where they used to come on the balcony deck all the time.
So we've made it to the Blue Mountains. We've got about 2 or 3 hours before we get into our house that we've hired or rented. And we're just walking in the Blue Mountains. And look at these things here. I love tree ferns. Got a lovely one in my garden. But to see them growing wild and free, all different sizes as part of the understory in the forest. Absolutely gorgeous. So there's nothing. There's nothing that a camera can do to tell you what that view looks like. It's one of those things we were just discussing. A drone footage, yes, would help loads, but the awe-inspiring, breathtaking view and the distance below us, watching cockatoos as specks flying below us for a change, is absolutely phenomenal. The strata of the rocks, the blueness of the Blue Mountains, and the vastness. I've never been to the Grand Canyon. I've been here before, and it's the nearest thing I can imagine. It is just vast. I really don't like the word awesome, but yeah, awe-inspiring if nothing else. Let's see what more we can see. So we've been looking at the sites, and I kind of suggested, let's just go here. It looked really beautiful. Little do the girls know, this is where to come for more interesting things. Never mind the bloody sights. Let's get in the forest. Blotched blue tongues and copperheads.
Hello.
So we're just walking down a track just down the road for our accommodation here in the Blue Mountains. I don't know, one word, peaceful. Unbelievable. The temperature's glorious. Too hot for snakes now. It's, you know, getting those girls up and going, ready to get out. You've way missed the window for basking snakes. It's about 10 a.m. It's about 21 degrees in the shade, I guess. Just glorious for walking in. Birds and butterflies, scenery. That's what we're going to absorb today. If I find anything exciting, it'll be here and I'll show you guys. But wow, what a lovely place to be. All sorts of birds, kookaburras and all sorts. The peace interspersed with just the sounds of nature. Sometimes the buzzing flies. And we'll see what we see. So if you look here, you can see this is all burnt. The ground covering's been burnt off. And this is all a controlled burn. This really has been some forest fires. We've had a lot of rain the last few days, so that's kind of probably really good for the ground, the wildlife and the plants. But this controlled burn, burning that underbrush and the leaf litter and everything, really is in place to try and, if you like, preempt and control the fires that might rage through. Much less to burn, much harder for a fire to kind of take root, I guess, and get on there and get going properly. Like in the UK, it's all about habitat management. I think whether you're a geologist, a zoologist, a botanist, wow, what a place. What a place to be. The sound of the river. So we've walked all the way down to the creek and the little mini waterfall systems. Go down, you got to go back up. Northamptonshire, not known for its mountainous country. I've left the girls behind and I'm thinking, Ventolin inhaler. So Seriously, I just stopped to sort of wait for the girls, catch my breath. And I thought, must be in a car park. I can hear like a distant, someone's stereo in their car, like the bass, boom, 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 boom. And I realise it's my heart. Steeper than it looks. That doesn't help. Onward and upward. Whew. So we're back on an easy track now. We're heading back out for cold beer and some lunch. This is my plan, whether it'll work out. After dark, we've got about a 1 hour walk into the bush to another system of waterfalls where there's meant to be one of the best glowworm colonies in the Blue Mountains, which would be just a spectacle to see. And if I can get up in time, get down by a creek where copperheads, probably red-bellied black snakes and blotched blue tongues live, try and get there for sort of 6 a.m. Try and catch them out basking. It gets hot so quick. It can be very cold. It's probably about 5 degrees tonight. But they don't like it hot. So we've got to get there when they're warming up to go about their morning's business. Easier said than done when it's cold and you're snuggled up in bed. I thought it was a hoverfly, but it's bloody biting. Get off. Jackie and I are just waiting for it to get a little bit more dusk. We've done our research and we've found out where the best glowworm spot is meant to be. That's going to be less than a 10-minute drive, and I think about a 20-minute walk up to the waterfalls. Now, these aren't glowworms like in Britain. These aren't beetle larvae. These are going to be the gnat larvae that live in damp caves, I think. So we're going to go and see those soon. But just a quick recap. So the last place we stayed back on the Central Coast, the host, the owners, Judy and Murray, God, I'm terrible with names, they were the best hosts ever. It was like going and seeing family. The warmest welcome. Their daughter designed their holiday accommodation that they let out. An amazing feat of design that I think she did 20 years ago for her sort of degree in, what's it called when you design buildings, Jackie?
Architecture.
Oh yeah, architecture. What a beautiful place. Absolutely immaculate. Fantastic. Before we left here for the Blue Mountains, my friend Pete Middleton, since I was a teenager back in the UK, he's lived out here for 20 years, and in 18 months, he's recently got a bit of a name for himself as a carp fisherman. Now, these aren't big bloated carp that you get in the UK lakes and ponds. These are pure, wild, common carp living in tidal water, and another place he fishes is a big dammed reservoir. These are an invasive species. They're pretty much supposed to be killed. Obviously, the carp fishermen here that love them don't kill them. That's the fish they live and fish for. But these are wild, torpedo-shaped carp. We fished after a storm. We fished in a storm. The bird life was to die for. The wild birds, we saw ospreys fishing. Birds I don't even know the names of, but absolutely stunning. It was a storm in the day. Have a look at this next clip in a second. It was a storm the night before. He already said, I think the carp are off-site, gone way upriver to meet fresh water where they can spawn, but he said he'll take me anyway. On this bit of tidal river, he averages 20 to 30 carp, up to 20 pounds a session. We're talking a morning session. We had one fish on that come off. We didn't even see a fish. I did a whole YouTube video about carping in Australia with Pete Middleton. I scrapped the video because we didn't get a fish at the end of it. But anyway, here we are now in the Blue Mountains. We're in a lovely built cottage, new built cottage with an English cottage garden. And one thing I love here is actually the tropical plants that us lot keep as house plants that people grow in their gardens. House plants that grow this big on your table in the house, growing into trees in people's gardens because the climate doesn't have a frost. Anyway, let's see how we get on looking for these glowworms.
You get a run, you're getting it.
Listen to the frogs. So we just crept down here, we're just waiting for the darkness to fall. And it turns out there's another guy here with some serious camera kit to get some good photos. So you can hear the waterfall. Jackie and I are looking with our eyes at the most magnificent display all the way along the back of that cave. And I'm filming it for you guys, and there's no way the little points of light are going to show up on an iPhone. And I only wish I could show you.
It's like a star-studded sky for those romantics of me.
A star-studded type blue, would you say? What colour are they?
No, they're not blue.
Oh, they are to my eyes.
LED white to me.
Ah, so exactly, they're like the tiniest little LEDs just glowing in the back of the cave. And to me, my colourblind eyes, they look like they have a hint of blue. I mean, there are just so many, guys. I just can't believe.
When you're looking at them, when I'm staring at them.
I just can't believe that they're not showing up. They are that bright to the human eye, but they're not giving off light. They are just their own light. They're not shining light onto the surrounding area. Wow. So if you keep snakes or look for snakes and wild herp in the UK, I think if I said Australia, you would think of somewhere really, really hot, desert, lots of dry habitat. Last time I was here, this dew, this time 5 years ago, this dew was frost. It's a heavy dew. It's about 10 degrees last night. It's going to be about 25 in the sun, in the shade later on. But it's not what you think. It's temperate. Yes, it can get to 30 odd degrees. Yes, there's now forest fire warnings. You're not allowed to set a fire anywhere around these parts. But it's temperate. These snakes have frost. They even have snow in parts of the Blue Mountains. They're out when it's cooler and they disappear when the heat of the sun comes up. And if it gets really hot, they become nocturnal, even the diurnal ones. And where we're on the central coast, it's temperate. Now, it doesn't get a frost down there really, but those diamond pythons, they're in the woods. It's not hot. It's so not what you expect from looking for reptiles in Australia. Certainly here in New South Wales, it's an eye-opener. It's you can't believe there's such an abundance of reptiles if you're from the UK. There's a copperhead. The bird led me to the snake. This is what we've come for. What's the chances of that? Here we are. It's a Highland copperhead. They're not huge snakes. There's a little bit of a view of this beautiful species. Highland copperheads. A really good spot here in the Blue Mountains for this snake. What a fantastic beast. Let's let it go. Beautiful. Here's a real treat, guys. A blotched blue-tongue skink. Target species number 2. There's his tongue. It's cold. It really is. It's like you'd be worried if this was your reptile. You can see just how slow those tongue flicks are. And that's because he's too cold. He's too cold to do it any differently. So here's something I've got to investigate. Like a marching caterpillar. I imagine not good to touch. But I don't know if they are caterpillars. I'm wondering if they're a sawfly. Look at them, they know I'm here. I'm thinking they're a sawfly larva. But I'm going to have to investigate and find out. That's what I love. Going to new places, finding new wildlife. These things are big, definitely over 2 inches long. It's about 6 centimeters long. I'm gonna blow on them, hold on. Wow, I think they're telling me keep off. We taste bad, we've got irritating hairs. They're obviously exhausted their food plant and they're trying to find a new nourishment, I think, and they're crossing a path. I don't know how good they're going to be. Fortunately, I can't really help them along. Amazing. Big juicy grubs by the Three Sisters in the national park.